Hey everyone, so in this video I kind of wanted to go over the spin selling framework. It's a framework that's used by a lot of top sales executives over many sales teams in startups, in companies, and agencies. They love this framework and I personally think this is a very powerful framework. It allows you to kind of understand more about your prospect and close the deal a lot faster because you're able to narrow down the problem. So let's get right into it. What the spin framework is an acronym for four different types of sales questions that you can ask your prospect to kind of see how you can get them more motivated to buy by narrowing down the problem and then hitting that bullseye and getting them to close the deal. So it's based on four different types of questions. The first type is situation questions, next is problem questions, third is implication questions, and fourth is need payoff questions. I'll be diving into every one of these and giving you an example. So the first one is situation questions, and situation questions is kind of the first type of questions that you should start off with, the more broad range, and you kind of want to be able to use these to get into the next stage of questions to narrow down what your prospect actually wants out of your product and how to get them motivated. So for this example, I'm going to say I'm selling a CRM software, and one of the questions that I will ask as a situation question is, how do you currently manage your customers' contact details? How do you keep track of sales pipeline? How do you keep track of your sales reps' performance? And with these questions, they're a little bit more broad range, but you're able to figure out, are they currently using a CRM system? And they will probably come back to you and tell you exactly what they're using, how they're doing it, and that way you can go into narrowing down what you need to sell to them. So for example, if they say, oh yeah, we're using this other type of CRM system, then you can kind of narrow down the question and say, does that CRM question have this feature that the one that you're selling has? And the more narrowing down you do, the more you get to sell them on that specific pain point that they're experiencing. So the next type of questions, the second set, is problem questions. If you can get a customer to acknowledge that there's a problem that needs to be fixed, they're far more likely to give you the attention that you need to close the deal, right? So a good example of this is, was the amount of training you needed to get up and running with your CRM ever a problem? Do you find it expensive adding new users to your CRM? So these are more CRM specific questions. Remember, we're selling a CRM here. So the first type of situation questions already got them into telling you a little bit more info. And now it's time to narrowing down a little bit more to specific problems that your CRM can actually fix and sell. The third type is implementation questions. So the purpose of this third type set of questions is to make the customer more eager for a solution by giving them a solution to the problem that they just identified from your previous set of questions. All right. So an example is, if leads don't get inputted onto your CRM system, what's the impact on your sales outlook? Or if training on your CRM is costly and time consuming, what does that mean for the new sales rep when they start? And a lot of times when you ask these other questions, especially like the second one about your sales rep, they'll be like, oh, that might slow down our sales process, that might cost us a lot more time, and they're giving free money to the employees because they're taking a lot more time to train them when they can be closing deals. All these stuff will allow you to get to your final solution. So if you have a CRM that can close deals a lot faster, that can onboard the users a lot quicker, onboard the sales rep and teach them a lot quicker, they'll most likely go for yours, because the more sales rep that they hire, the less time they will need to put into training these staffs. And that means more deals, more close, less resource and time spent per sales rep, and they can hire more and more at scale to allow them to accomplish the task a lot faster. So these are implication questions that you need to start to dive into after you identify whatever pain point that they tell you. So don't just go right into these. Only do it when they tell you what their problem that they're experiencing with their current solution is. Lastly is need payoff questions. This is the final stage of the SPIN framework, and it is to encourage a prospect to consider how valuable a solution to the problem they have identified would be. So these are the final questions that you ask. And after this one, hopefully you're able to send them over the contract, whatever deal it is, the payment method, and hopefully they close the deal. So a good example of these need to pay off questions is, why is being able to have a big picture overview of your sales pipeline important to you? You want them to think about the big picture, how it can help them improve their sales, how it can improve their training speed, how your CRM can help them onboard users quicker, how they can log data and get their sales done, right? So these are the final questions that you need to ask in order for them to get to the deal part. Or the second one is if you can cut the time on setting up your new staff with the CRM, what impact would that make on your sales team? Remember, get them to think about the big picture, think about why this is the perfect solution and not the one that they're currently using. This is how you close a deal with the need payoff questions. So conclusion is that spin selling framework is pretty much just a series of questions. It's an acronym representing SPIN. And it allows people to sell quicker. It's best used for software services that offer a ton of features where it's hard to kind of identify every company you talk to what they want because every company wants something different. And with these questions, you're able to identify what are the main pain points and what your features can solve. So that is super important. And remember, this is presented by growthok.com. So if you're looking for qualified and targeted sales leads that come with any kind of custom data to make the lead more qualified, just let us know. We'll find it. Reach out to us at growthok.com.